Hello everyone, we are doing a study plan on LeetCode named SQL 50. We are on the section basic joins. It's day 8, query 8. Let's get started with our query. Customer who visited but did not make any transaction. Okay, we have table visits which has the visit ID and customer ID. Visit ID is the column with unique values for this table. This table contains information about the customer who visited the mall. Okay, this table is having visit ID and customer ID. It has the details of a customer who is visiting a mall. Then we have second table transactions, which has transaction ID, visit ID and amount. Transaction ID is the column with unique values of this table. The table contains information about the transaction made during the visit. Okay, so first table is visits, which has the information about a customer who visited a mall, and then second table is transaction, which has the information about that customer's transaction, if he made a transaction in the mall or not. So write a solution to find ID of the user who visited without making any transaction and the number of times they made these type of visit. Okay, so we have few customers who visited the mall, and now what we want to find such customer who visited the mall but they did not make any transaction, and we have to count their visit. Like, let's say if there is a customer X, he visited 2 times in the mall and 2 times he didn't make any transaction, so that we have to find. Let's see with an example. Try to understand the example. So visits table, a customer ID, let's say 23 is the customer who entered the mall. When he entered the mall, a ID was given to him. That one is your ID. Now let's check this ID in the transaction table. Visit ID 1. Okay, in the transaction table there is entry for that customer 1. That means he entered the mall and he also made a transaction. Let's see for 9. For customer 9, he got the visit ID 2. Let's check 2 in the transaction table. 2 is also there. That means he also made a transaction. Let's see for 30. Customer 30 entered the mall. He was assigned ID 4. Let's check. 4 is not there. That means 30 number customer entered but he did not make any transaction. So we have to find such customer IDs. Okay, we have 54. So 54 go inside the mall and 2 times he didn't make any transaction. Customer 30 went to the mall, 1 time he didn't make any transaction, and same with 96. So let's try to write a query for this one. We will write in the order, and we will try to understand at each step what will the value in our table. Okay, so we have to merge the tables, right? That means we have to join the tables. So I will write from visits. Okay, from visits join transactions. I told you, right, the table which we put first is left, the one which we put second is the right table, but right now it's a simple join, we are not mentioning left or right, so by default it's inner join. Inner join means only common values it will find. Now we need one column based on which we will form the relation. After writing this much, we have both the tables with us. Okay, we have both tables. Now which column do you think we can use for the relation? Visit ID is the one, right, which is common in both, so we'll put condition on the visit ID column. From visit join transaction on visits dot visit ID, the visit ID of the first table equals to the visit ID of second table. So now we have this much. This is inner join. Now what will happen? We will get a resulted table which will have only common values. What does that mean? I will have the Now I will have 4 columns in the result table. Customer ID, other will be visit ID is already there, a transaction ID, right, and amount. I will have 4 columns now in the new formed table after writing this query. And how it will be formed? Visit ID 1. Is it there in the second table? 1. Yeah, it is there. That means it can enter here. Customer ID, what is the customer ID for 1? 23. That means 23. Transaction ID for 1, what is the transaction ID? 12. And what is the amount? 910. So like this, each ID which will match, for that we will get values. So same way for 2 is there. Yes, 2 is here also. So 2 is also a match. Visit ID equals to visit ID. 2, what is the customer ID? 9, what is the transaction ID? 13, and what is the amount? 970. Now listen carefully, okay? Generally people get confused with the 54 value, like how this 54 will be treated. Before that we have 4. 4 is there? No, we don't have 4, right? So 4 will be neglected because 4 not equals to 4. Our condition is visits ID equals to visit ID. It's inner join by default. That means only common values will be there. So 4 will be neglected. Next one is 54. 54 is having 5. 5 equals to 5. 5 equals to 5 second time. 5 equals to 5 third time. That means there will be 3 entries for 5. 5, 5, 5. One time, that what is the customer ID for 5? 54. That means 54 one time. When one time it is matching, that time the transaction is 2 and amount is 330. That means transaction is 2 and amount is 330. 310, sorry. Then second time 5 equals to 5. That time customer ID is again 54. For third one also customer ID is 54. It's 300. Then 5 equals to 5 again, the third entry. This time it is 9 and the value is 200. Okay, so after writing this one, this will be the resulted table. If you see, right, 30 is not there because 4 is not matching with any entry. This 96 is not there because this visit ID 6 is not there. These 54 for 7 is not there because 7 is not there. For 54 5 was there, so that come 3 times. But for 7, like this is the same. Let's consider this person any name like Saket entered the mall this yesterday. He got the ID 5. Same day he made three transaction with the same ID, so that's why 5 times. But next day again he went. This time he got ID 7, but this time he didn't make any transaction. Next day again he went. This time he got ID 8. He didn't make any transaction. So after writing this much, we have this common table. But if you observe the result, these are the person who made the transaction. I want the person who didn't make a single transaction. That means the rows which are neglected, right? 54 is not there, 30 is not there, 96 is not there. I wanted those rows, and those are this. I want each customer ID and visit ID, and these are part of my left table. Visits, right? This is left table, this is right table. I want each value from the left table, so that's why it will become the left join. Now you understood on what basis we define if it is a left join or it is a right join. I want every value from the left table, that's why it is a left join. After writing this one, what are the values which are missing? I don't have 4, I don't have 6, 7 and 8. So these value will be added. 4 is not there, 6 is not there, 7 is not there. For 4, what is the customer ID? 30. 30. For 6, what is the customer ID? 50, 96. 96. For 7, the customer ID is 54. And one more is 8. 8 for 8 also 54. 54. Now for these we were getting a value, right? Now we put left, join left, so I get these also, but I don't have values for this one, right? For 4 ID there is no transaction ID, no amount. For visit ID 6 there is no transaction ID, nothing. So I will start getting null here. By default automatically a null will be there. Null, then I have a null here. Null here. You can fast forward the video, okay, but I wanted to show each row, like how each row is formed, then only we understand the query properly. Null and then null. After this query, this is our resulted table, right? Exactly this will be the table at the back end. Now try to understand what I want. I want the customer ID who didn't make a single transaction. That means the values, if you see 30 null, right? I want the one who didn't make a single transaction. If you see who visited without making any transaction, that means for which the value is null. Now how I can put a condition where transactions dot this transaction ID equals equal, I can put for null we have to write is null. This is the condition. When I add this where condition, what are the rows I will left with? I will left with only these rows. These for the rows which are having a value will be eliminated. I will be left with these rows. This is the table form now. These are the visit ID and customer ID who didn't made any transaction. Now let's try to see what we want in the result. I want the customer ID. Okay. Now I will write select customer ID. I want to print the customer ID. What else I want? I want the count of transaction. I want to know how many times that customer ID is there. This 30 is one time, 96 is one time, 54 is two times. This 54 went two times in the mall and didn't make any transaction. This customer 30 went one time in the mall, didn't make any transaction. So I want to count them. I will put count, which is an aggregate function. The customer ID, I will count them how many times, right? And when we make a aggregate function, it is mandatory to add a group by. We have to add group by, and group by we are same column we have to use customer ID and here customer ID. Now what will be the result? Customer ID 30. I will get 30. Count it. Count the customer ID. How many times this customer ID is there? One time. Next one 96 is the second customer ID. How many times it is there? One time. Next ID is 54. How many times it is there? It is two times. Okay. So this will be the final result table, and this is what we want. Let me comment everything. Let me run it. Okay. Okay, I'm getting the expected output. The column name is different. Here it is coming as count customer ID, but if you see they have given the column name as well. So what I will do, I will copy. We know, right, how we have to change it. We have to use as clause, and I will paste it. Now it will be changed to count as transaction or trans. Now run it. Now this is working. Let me submit it. Our query is working as expected. You can try to understand it, try to do it yourself. I try to explain each step, at what step what will be the values in the table. Hope you understand it. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like if you understand.